Howdy, folks. Welcome to my B.A.D, my Busk at Dusk. This is John Flynn here in the mighty little state of Delaware. Here's a song I never sang before, but I've been thinking about it this week because I got a friend who got himself a bad back. He had to have some back surgery, and it was a long recoup. And they put some screws in his back, and the screws came out, so he had to go back into the hospital. And the folks he worked for, he's doing a real good job, and they loved him, but they said, man, you know, we can't hold the position forever, so you got to go. And he lost his job and is about to lose his place and his savings. And he told me if he doesn't get something going by early next week, he's going to be joining the tent encampment down in Wilmington. They used to call those tent encampments Hoovervilles during the Great Depression. I think we should start to call them Trump towns. Anyway, this is for my buddy. He's in my prayers, and we're trying to get some stuff figured out for him. I ain't got no home, just a roaming round, just a wandering worker. I go from town to town. The police make it hard wherever I may go, and I ain't got no home in this world anymore. My brothers and my sisters are stranded on this road, hot and dusty road that 1,000,000 feet have trod. Rich man took my home and he drove me from my door, and I ain't got no home in this world anymore. Some folks say you got to put savings aside for a rainy day and, you know, emergency funds. How come your buddy didn't do that? Well, my friend did 22 years in prison. That's how I came to know him, because we met him in Gander Hill Prison. Worked with him in New Beginnings for a couple years, and when he got out, he was doing so good he became a volunteer and started going back into the prisons with us so he could work with other guys who were, you know, trying to get ready to do the hardest work a human being can do, which is to try something different. Anyway, so he's been out a couple years and he's been doing good, but you know, the way things are, you get a job and you make just enough to, you know, scratch the surface of the bills that are coming in. So it's hard for a working guy to save up anything, and that's just not guys coming out of prison. That's our kids. That's our sons and daughters. Anyway, sing a little more. Was a farming on the shares, and always I was poor. My crops I laid into the banker's store. My wife took down and died upon the cabin floor, and I ain't got no home in this world anymore. As I look around, it's mighty plain to see this world is such a great and funny place to be. All the gambling man is rich and the working man is poor, and I ain't got no home in this world anymore. posted a picture of Trump Town in Wilmington on the Christiana River, and the folks down there living in tents. And of course, somebody replied to my post, why don't they all just get jobs? Like it was just laziness that put them where they are. And I don't usually respond to posts like that, trolling or whatever. I don't try to educate people with little back and forth, gotcha texts. But it pissed me off, and I used some language that I wouldn't ordinarily use in responding to this gentleman, because the folks down there, a lot of them are struggling with mental illness. A lot of them are struggling with the same thing my buddy's dealing with, which is having lost their work because of health situations. A lot of them are just working and living in tents because we don't pay enough to people who are trying to make it. Anyway, I ain't got no home, I'm just a roaming around, just a wandering worker. I go from town to town, and the police make it hard wherever I may go. And I ain't got no home in this world anymore. So I just figured I'd start off with that one. God bless Woody. Who we got with us? Let's see here. Judy's here, and Lucy's here, and Donna's here, and Heidi. 98 Telecaster, hello there. Tony and Greg, Davo. Good to see everybody. Anyway, having evoked Mr. Guthrie, this is a song that the folks at the Guthrie Center asked me to write. They asked a bunch of us to write songs to commemorate Woody's 100th birthday, which was, I guess, about, 14 years ago? Something like that. Be this 14 years this summer. His name was Woody Guthrie, and way back in 1912, he came into this world kicking and a fussing. We came to love him well, for life's been trying to tell how we all could change the things that we've been cussing. We just gotta do like what he done, like what he done. We just gotta do like what he done. When folks said you cannot change things, Woody said, oh yes I can. 'Cause a man can make a difference, and that difference made the man. A hero we can turn to when it's time to make a stand. And our lesser angels say to cut and run. We just gotta do like Woody done. Well, his name was Woody Guthrie, and way back in 1912, he commenced the life of holy rabble rousing. Now with beat up guitar cases and them bound for glory faces, you can number his disciples by the thousand, and I'm one. We just gotta do like what he done, like what he done. Just gotta do like what he done. When folks said you cannot change things, Woody said, oh yes I can. 'Cause a man can make a difference, and that difference made the man. A hero we can turn to when it's time to make a stand. And our lesser angels say to cut and run. Just gotta do like Woody done. 'Cause there ain't much right with a mouth kept shut tight, when your duty just might be to shout. And there ain't much wrong that the soul in a song can't make better. You sing it out, sing it. about 300 and some years ago. Came into this life kicking and yelling, and he never really quit, and we're better because of it. The brave and shining truth that he was telling. Just gotta do like what he done, like what he done in Pete too. Just gotta do like what he done. When folks said you cannot change things, what he said, oh yes I can. 'Cause a man can make a difference and a woman can make a difference. You know, folks can make a difference. And that difference made the man a hero we can turn to when it's time to make a stand. And friends, it's time to make a stand. And our lesser angels say to cut and run. You just gotta do like what he done. Which is raise your voice. Lewis said, make good trouble. Here's an old song of mine. Elijah was a sergeant, 42 years old. Mesa, Arizona, Elijah won't grow old. Patrick was with C Troop, 2nd Armored Cav. His buddies all remember how Patrick loved to laugh. Seth was from East Brunswick, just a newlywed. Somewhere in New Jersey, Seth's young widow bows her head. Daniel was from Boston, shipped out from Fort Bragg. His mother got back Daniel with a folded flag. Airplane, bring him down easy out of the Delaware skies. Oh, big airplane, Dover is waiting to welcome the fall and you fly. William served in Ambar, combat engineer, 1st Marine Division. William was not here. Allen rebuilt bridges for Battalion B. Next to cause of death, they wrote the letters IED. And Gussie was a scrub nurse hailing from Fort Bliss. Gussie had a spirit this world is gonna miss. Jeremiah's son cries on his mama's knee. There was no armor plate on his dad's Humvee. And oh, big airplane, bring him down easy out of the Delaware skies. Oh, big airplane, Dover's waiting to welcome the fall and you fly. Scrub wooden pallets with white straps cinched over long boxes, flag draped aluminum. The C5 is crowded when it lands in Dover. The honor guard comes to make room again, and again, and again, and again. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Making straight for Nineveh, just like Jonah's whale. Holy truth you swallow, overseas you sail. Precious is your cargo, sacred was their gift, offered in a sandstorm from which your wings lift. Those who should take notice can't watch you sit down behind barbed wire fences miles from their town. And no one breathes to question this silent parade, except for the anguished loved ones left to say, oh, big airplane, bring down easy out of the Delaware skies. Oh, big airplane, Dover's waiting to welcome the heroes you fly home. dug up an old poem today. And I apologize because I don't know the author, but I heard it one time when I was a kid, and it was on a TV special, a John Denver TV special. And I think it's the first time I ever heard anything political, I guess you'd call it political, was certainly making a statement about the Vietnam War. But it kind of went to a place in my heart that hadn't been awakened yet, I think, as a kid. And I always remembered the poem. And I'm thinking about today. Think about the chances of someone reading an anti-war poem on a major, primetime television special. This isn't even like late night, the Late Show kind of stuff after the kids have gone to bed. This is like, not 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. right on one of the major networks. And now, Jimmy Kimmel can't even tell a joke without every ABC affiliate getting their leash yanked. So anyway, this is called The Box. And I apologize in advance because I read it once before we went live here on the internet, and I didn't get through it without getting a little bit emotional. So I'll do my best. Once upon a time in the land of Hushabye, in the wondrous days of yore, they came upon this kind of box, all bound with chains and locked with locks, and labeled, "Kindly do not touch, it's war." A decree was issued round about, all with a flourish and a shout, and gaily colored mascots tripping lightly on the fore, said, "Do not tamper with this deadly box. Don't break the chains or pick the locks, please. Don't ever play about with war." Well, the children understood. Children happened to be good, and they were just as around the time of yore. They didn't try to break the chains or pick the locks. They didn't play about with war. Mommies didn't either. Sisters, aunts, grannies, neither. They were quiet and sweet in those wondrous days of yore, fairly much the same as now. Not the ones to blame somehow for opening that deadly box of war. I guess mommies and grandmoms and aunts aren't as quiet now, and that's probably a good thing, so. Continuing, though. Someone did. Someone battered in the lid and spilled the insides out across the floor. A kind of bouncy, bumpy ball filled with guns and flags and all that tears, horror and death that goes with war. It bounced right out and went crashing all about and bumping into everything in store. And what was sad and most unfair is that it didn't really seem to care much who it bumped or why or what or for. It bumped the children mainly. And I'll tell you this quite plainly, it bumps them every day and more and more. And it leaves them dead and burned and dying. Thousands of them sick and crying, because when it bumps, it's really very sore. Now, there's a way to stop the ball. It isn't difficult at all. All it takes is wisdom. And I'm absolutely sure we can get the ball back in the box and bind the chains and lock the locks. And no one seems to want to save the children anymore. That's the way it all appears. That ball's been bouncing around for years, in spite of all the wisdom whiz since those wondrous days of yore when they came upon this kind of box, all bound with chains and locked with locks and labeled, "Kindly do not touch, it's war." Oh, mothers, no more war. Oh, mothers, no more war. Oh, mothers, no more war. Peace is the answer. Oh, fathers, no more war. Oh, fathers, no more war. Oh, fathers, no more war. Peace is the answer. Oh, sisters, no more war. Oh, sisters, no more war. Oh, sisters, no more war. Peace is the answer. Oh, brothers, no more war. Oh, brothers, no more war. Oh, brothers, no more war. Peace is the answer. Violence has left its stain. Its drug is in our veins. It screams, slay or be slain. It is a liar. The time is now at hand. Through this and every land, each woman, child, and man must sing together. Oh, children, no more war. For children, no more war. For our children, no more war. Peace is the answer. Oh, children, no more war. For children, no more war. Oh, family, no more war. Peace is the answer. Pardon me. Reminds me of Chris. He used to say, he'd pull out his hanky, see, fine thing you guys paying to see an old man blow his nose. Well, fortunately, you're not paying to see this, or you don't have to, certainly. But let's not rule it out if you're so inclined. I'll stick that little deal up on the QR code. I'll stick that up momentarily so that you can make whatever donation you feel is appropriate. But I was thinking the other day, you know, I don't expect you to do that, and if it's not a situation that you're able to kick in for these little excursions, oh man, that's a bad word now, isn't it? These little adventures we have, these little internet campfire sing-alongs. I would ask that, you know, you tell somebody else about it, and you send the link to a friend and say, hey, you know, come on over and check this guy out, because I'm not on the under the illusion that I'm heading towards fame and glory or anything like that, or, you know, but I do want my songs to get heard someday, somehow. So anything you can do to help me do that, I would appreciate it. And speaking of Chris, Heidi asked for this one, and this is one I wrote with him. I guess, technically, because he wrote the chorus and I wrote the verses. This is called Chris's Rules. Just a couple days ago, I heard you'd slipped away. No one but my old guitar to cry with, so I played all those songs you wrote, and after I'd sung each one through, a voice inside me seemed to say, boy, now it's up to you. It's up to you now. What is that supposed to mean? I asked to no one there. Sadness like my question seemed to hang in empty air. But then, as if your spirit stood there with me in the room, I could hear you telling me just what I had to do. Tell the truth, sing with passion, work with laughter, love with heart. Tell the truth, sing with passion, work with laughter, love with heart. You used to remind us all what William Blake had said, that sorrow and confusion haunt the living and the dead. Should you turn their backs upon the lives they've been called to? For poets, saints, and fools like me, the way to honor you is to tell the truth. Sing with passion, work with laughter, love with heart. Tell the truth, sing with passion, work with laughter, love with heart. I have no place to lay this heartache or my gratitude. I'll just keep on doing what I think I'm called to do. Less because I came to know a hero as a friend, who tried to help me understand what matters in the end. Tell the truth, sing with passion, work with laughter, love with heart. Tell the truth, sing with passion, work with laughter, love with heart. We said tell the truth, sing with passion, work with laughter, love with heart. You've got to tell the truth, sing with passion, work with laughter, love with heart. Just a couple days ago, I heard you'd slipped away. All right. So before I forget, that should take you to the PayPal link. And if you're not, excuse me, if you're not a PayPal person, we do Venmo too. And if if you go to johnflynn.net, there's information about other ways to kick in. But honestly, at this point, I just assumed the word of mouth. But thank you for those that contribute. And we've had, there's got to be, I don't know, 12, 15 of you that have been supporting this now 6 years, I guess. Almost exactly 6 years since the beginning of the pandemic, when we all got kind of locked inside, and a lot of us started doing these streaming things to augment income. And I thought it was going to be a big augment. That first night, I made literally almost 100 times more. That first show, 100 times more than I made last week on that stream. So I thought, oh man, I don't even have to go on the road anymore. This is sweet. But I think folks just missed me. And how can you miss me if I won't go away? Song by Donovan. In the chilly hours and minutes of uncertainty, I want to be in the warm hold of your loving mind, to feel you all around me and take my hand along the sand. But I may as well try and catch the wind. When sundown hails the sky, I would hide a while behind your smile. Everywhere I look, your eyes I find. For me to love you now would be the sweetest thing. It would make me sing, but I may as well try and catch the wind. Kill my fear, help me to leave all these blues behind. For standing in your heart is where I want to be and long to be. But I may as well try and catch the wind. But I may as well try and catch the wind. I started a joke. We started the whole world crying. Oh, if I only see that the joke was on me. Oh, no. I started to cry. We started the whole world laughing. Oh, if I only see that the work, the joke was on me. I looked at the sky, running my hands over my eyes, and I fell out of bed, hurting my head for things that I said. I finally died, which started the whole world living. Oh, if I only see that the joke was on me. Oh no, that the joke was on me. Barry Gibb song. Let's see here. Where's our comments? There we go. I have a friend who used to climb the walls of stone cathedrals in the mountain halls, where mistakes you can't afford, nothing between him and the Lord but a piece of nylon cord in his two calloused hands. He found me trembling once in grievous fear. Illness might soon claim someone I held dear. And he said, once upon a time, when I was learning how to climb, somebody said the words that I'm about to say to you. Trust the rope, trust the rope. Hold on tight and make a friend of it. Even when you've reached the end of it, don't lose hope. Just trust the rope. There was this cliff face that he could not cross. No ledge to grab on, he was at a loss. His mind filled up with fear and doubt, till he heard his buddy shout, just let go, swing on out. It's gonna be okay. Just trust the rope, trust the rope. Hold on tight and make a friend of it. Even when you've reached the end of it and you can't cope, trust the rope. Some say ships are safe in harbors. That's not what folks who built ships had in mind. Tarzan swinging through the arbors has to put his faith in every vine. To trust the rope, you gotta trust the rope. Hanging out between heaven and hell. When you hear a voice above you yell, don't say nope. Just trust the rope. I haven't done this one in a long time, and since I referred to John Denver earlier, but I don't do a lot of John's music. I recorded this one on one of my family albums. I think it was The Manatee Sneezed on Me. For those of you that don't know my kids' albums, I encourage you to check them out. Some of my best work. And this is a John Denver song that I covered and always loved. So you speak to me of sadness and the coming of the winter, the fear that is within you now, it seems to never end, the dreams that have escaped you and the hope that you've forgotten. Tell me that you need me now. You want to be my friend. You wonder where we're going. Where's the rhyme? Where's the reason? But it's you cannot accept. It is here we must begin to seek the wisdom of the children. And the graceful way of flowers in the wind. For the children and the flowers are my sisters and my brothers. Their laughter and their loveliness can clear a cloudy day, like the music of the mountains and the colors of the rainbow. They're a promise for the future and a blessing for today. Start to crumble and the towers fall around us. The sun is slowly fading and it's colder than the sea. It is written from the deserts to the mountains, they shall lead us by the hand, by the heart. They will comfort you and me with their innocence and trusting. They will teach us to be free. For the children and the flowers are my sisters and my brothers. Their laughter and their loveliness will clear a cloudy day. And the song that I'm singing is a prayer to non-believers. Come and stand beside us. We can find a better way. their innocence and trusting, they will teach us to be free. Freedom from fear. Freedom comes from that trust. I was recently reminded that in the original Aramaic that the New Testament was written for anyway, or translating, because I guess it was written in Greek originally, but it was translating Aramaic, and the word faith, the actual translation was trust. So having faith didn't mean believing a set of dogmas or a list of things that meant you were one of us or not one of us. Having faith meant trusting in the creative force and the love that brought you and all of us here. And the thing that the New Testament says most, more than anything, more than even love, more than anything, it says, don't be afraid. It says that, I'm reliably told, 365 times. One for every day of the year. Don't be afraid. Let's see here. Got a gig coming up. I think it's check my little handy dandy calendar. So 2 weeks from tomorrow night, which is May 16th, I'm going to be in Villanova, Pennsylvania, at Musical Airs Coffee House. So for those of you that are in the area, hope you'll come by and see me. And I won't be doing a busk that weekend. Try not to compete with myself, as if I could. And normally I kind of run these things through May. So I think probably we'll do our last one for the season on the 29th. And then I'll let you guys have a few months off. Not so long ago there was a time could not gaze on yours or show you mine, but you learned to bear the truth of things when you let your wounds become your wings. The blood upon your feathers starts to shine with the dawn as silently you climb up Love the arrows earthbound archers sling. When you let your wounds become your wings. And what the world below would call your scars now lift you closer to the morning stars. When a heart so broken by the past stays open to tenderness at last, stronger for the frailties that you've known, shaped like clay, not broken like a stone. Your unclenched throat begins to laugh and sing when you let your wounds become your wings. Not turning from or tempted to disdain others who would shelter from their pain. In the prisons of their suffering, when you let your wounds become your wings. And what the world below would call your scars now lift you closer to the morning stars. When a heart so broken by the past stays open to tenderness at last, what the world below would call your scars now lift you closer to the morning stars. When a heart so broken by the past stays open to tenderness at last, shame falls like your shadow far below. Joy is just a quiet thing you know, coming into kinship with all things. When you let your wounds become your wings. Unhealed, you're no longer afraid. Somehow resurrected and remade. The spacious sky is wild and welcoming. When you let your wounds become your wings. The spacious sky is wild and welcoming. When you let your wounds become your wings. This world had me feeling low, he'd offer this advice. This is a new one, and I blanked on this line last week. I don't know why. So I'm going to pull it up. Come on, guys. There you go. This world had me feeling low. He'd offer this advice in language some old altar boy like me might recognize. It's true, I was an altar boy, and I did serve one of the last Latin masses in the Archdiocese of Philadelphia. Ticked me off, man. I had to learn that whole mass in Latin. And they switched to English after I did one mass. All right, from the top. This world had me feeling low. He'd offer this advice in language some old altar boy like me might recognize. Illegitimine carborundum. Some words in ancient Latin he had found. Illegitimine carborundum. It means don't let the bastards grind you down. Your scars are just participation trophies, he would say. Don't let them make you quit or take what makes you you away. Illegitimine carborundum. Hold your head up high and stand your ground. Illegitimine carborundum. It means don't let the bastards grind you down. Even though the one who said these words to me is gone, his defiant spirit still sings through me in this song. This world has me feeling low. I think on his advice. When I want to throw in the towel, his words make me think twice. Illegitimine carborundum. The old man's incantation still resounds. Illegitimine carborundum. And I don't let the bastards grind me down. Illegitimine carborundum. Hold your head up high and stand your ground. Illegitimine carborundum. Means don't let the bastards grind you down. Don't you let the bastards grind you down. I've watched my land grow callous and indifferent to the harm caused by masked men dragging children from their parents' arms, sending folks to foreign prisons and to concentration camps without evidence or trial, on the whim of just one man. We are watching children starving due to famine far away, where we used to once save lives, but now refuse if they can't pay. And the medicines we once sent round the world for mercy's sake is held back by those who think cruelty's what makes a country great. And I think about the man from Galilee who said, what you do to them, you do to me. And I shake my head at the obscenity that nails him once more to the victim tree. And I watch them give more money to the richest men alive, while they gleefully gut programs that help millions to survive, making hospitals and clinics and food pantries close their doors to the hungry and the homeless, to the sick and to the poor. And I think about the man from Galilee who said, what you do to them, you do to me. And I shake my head at the obscenity that nails him once more to the victim tree. He is you, he is me. Jesus Christ, can't you see that where empathy's died, he's again crucified? He is us, he is them, made to carry again ugly lies to dispel guilt we hide from ourselves. Watched our so-called leaders as they violate the oaths they took to the Constitution, 'cause it seems you can't serve both the law and the narcissism of a bloated autocrat, stoking fear and rage in followers who have forgotten that long ago a man from Galilee said, what you do to them, you do to me. A blood and soil Christianity that nails him once more to the victim tree. God forgive the inhumanity that nails him once more to the victim tree. Well, I'm going to do one more and go see if I can check out the Phillies game. Thanks for hanging out with me. This is a story song, and there's folks in my life who I love and cherish who believe the story, and there's folks in my life who I love and cherish that kind of don't really believe this kind of story, but it's a story that means a lot to me, and this is called The Price. The child had no cradle, the child had no pillow on which he could rest his weary head. A few handfuls of barn straw were all that lay between him and the wooden planks that were his bed. We laid him down on the boards of a manger. We laid him down on the boards of a cross. His whole life was the price we asked him to pay for loving us. Just for loving us. He was a simple tradesman who then became a teacher. He taught of miracles that love could do. He told us of his Father, of gentleness and mercy. How did we receive him, me and you? We laid him down on the boards of a manger. We laid him down on the boards of a cross. His whole life was the price we asked him to pay for loving us. Just for loving us. In the end, there was not one who would stand with him. In the end, when he was dying on his tree, in the end, he hung there calling to his Father, "Why have you forsaken me? Why have you forsaken me?" He said, "Please forgive them. They don't know what they're doing." And he closed his eyes and bowed his head. A couple days later, an angel asked a woman, "Why seek the living here among the dead? You laid him down of a manger. He laid him down boards of a cross. His whole life was the price asked him to pay for loving us. Laid him down boards of a manger. Laid him down the boards of a cross. His whole life was the price we asked him to pay for loving us. Just for loving us. The child had no cradle, the child had no pillow on which he could rest his weary head. Peace, you guys. I'll see you next week.